The GOAT Files, the series where we look into the history books and discover who the true GOATs of football are. We'll look into how they play, their past, and just really what makes them the GOAT. Now, let's get it started with the first episode of the series. Let's get straight into it. Who else to better than kick it off with the man himself, the boy from Rosario, Argentina, Lionel Messi. Let's get straight into it. It's no secret that Messi is the greatest player to have ever graced a football pitch. But if we're going to break it down, I think there's more than meets the eye with Messi. It's easy to look at his 800 goals in just over 1,000 games and assume he's the best ever. However, when you scratch the surface, I believe there are greater, deeper meanings into what makes Messi just so adored by the footballing world. In this episode of the GOAT Files, I'm going to look into just why he's the GOAT, the king of football. Now, I'm going to kick it off with his fundamental skills. In my opinion, it's not Messi's vast range of skills that he can perform that makes him the best, or how many different rainbow flicks he can do. I think it's just how well he's mastered a few skills, at which he can perform these skills with such expertise and precision that make him a truly feared and dangerous attacker. Unlike many other skillful wingers, Messi only does 3 or 4 different moves. These are body feints, his insane dribbling technique, and his vision. He's managed to perfect these 3 aspects of his game to such an extraordinary level that defenders know what he'll do next, but still can't do anything about it. Because of how brilliant the execution is, he's managed to master these fundamental skills to an insane level, and no one else can do them better than Messi. The body feints that Messi will perform are a thing of pure beauty. He sends defenders flying on a regular basis, and this has been one of his trademark moves for as long as he's been playing. I could talk about his body feints for hours. The next fundamental skill Messi has is the mastery of his insane dribbling technique. Dribbling is one of the first things that young footballers learn to do, but also, at its full capacity, is the most useful skill in a game scenario, and also one of the hardest things to master. Messi is by far the greatest dribbler to ever do it, and he is known for his unpredictable changes in direction, and also the way the ball appears to be glued to his boots. The way he has ultimate control over the ball is one of the world's wonders. One of the most underrated things about Messi's game, in my opinion, is his vision. Despite being a forward, Messi has the vision of a highly experienced and seasoned midfielder. There are few people in history of football whose vision could match Lionel's. Messi learned from the best with his vision. This is due to the fact he spent the majority of his career playing alongside 3 players who are all known for having superhuman vision: Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. Messi and these 3 seem to play the game from a bird's eye view and can spot runs that just no one else would even dream of attempting. The mastery of these fundamental skills are what I think makes Messi stand above the rest. Next up, to solidify Messi's status of the GOAT, are his seemingly endless list of personal and team achievements. We don't have all day to name everything, but this is just a brief rundown of Messi's achievements and how he's garnered up in his majestic career: 10 La Liga titles, 7 Copa del Rey titles, 4 Champions League titles, 1 Copa America, 7 Ballon d'Ors. He's the player with the most official recorded assists in football history, 357. He's got 1 World Cup, holds the record for 91 goals in a calendar year, and 4 consecutive Ballon d'Ors. These are just a handful of the huge list of accomplishments Messi's earned over his career, but in my opinion, are the most significant. Now, which do you think is more impressive, having 7 Ballon d'Ors or winning a World Cup and 4 Champions Leagues? Let me know in the comments. Now, obviously being the most prestigious player ever, you're going to have an insane trophy cabinet. But my next reason in the GOAT file is why I think it makes him stand out from the rest: the longevity of his career. Messi made his professional debut for Barcelona in 2004. This was a mere 19 years ago. Since then, Messi has been competing at the very highest level possible for a footballer, and the most impressive part is that he's maintained his standard of football for the whole time, and has never seemed to have a bad season. The way that Messi has been able to compete at the top with such excellence is mind-blowing. Messi actually scores a goal on average every 105 minutes. This statistic is truly amazing. Another stat which will make you understand the longevity of his career is, for example, he's the only player to win the Ballon d'Or in 3 different decades, in the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. And also, the only player to score 50 plus goals in 9 different calendar years for club and country. The way he's been producing these numbers for the entirety of his career, for me, is one of my favorite aspects about Messi. Finally, the tipping point for me as to why Messi belongs in the GOAT files is just the influence he's had on the sport as a whole. Messi has been part of the biggest rivalry in sports history and brought an unholy amount of attention towards the beautiful game. The amount of young people around the world aspire to emulate his style is truly awesome, and the way he has presented himself his whole career has set a new standard for sporting greats. He's always been extremely humble and inspiring for everyone. You never see him flexing and showing off. You can just see his pure love for the game, and the way he's inspired an entire generation of young footballers. It's truly unrepeatable. With all his charity work and amazing stuff he does, there's no way that you can't deny Messi ain't the GOAT. He's just the most awesome, down-to-earth, humble footballer there is, but just also happens to be the best. Man, Messi is the GOAT, and that's why I'm sticking him in the GOAT file. And this is why Messi is the first player to me to go in the GOAT files. He slots in perfectly. It's a no-brainer for Messi to be in the GOAT files. But as this series progresses, we're going to add more and more players, and some may be controversial. Let me know in the comments who you want next in the GOAT files. Leave your suggestions below, and I'll do them. As the series progresses, more and more footballers will come in the GOAT file, and we'll build a catalog of insane GOATs in football history until there's no one left to do. Now, for me, if you enjoyed this style of content, let me know. But apart from that, that's all I've got for this week's video. But for now, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!
Boy.